What is up, YouTube? We are back again for another match in the 2v2 DM Michi tournament. This time it is the finals match between Nova and Ghost going up against Frost and TheCode. In terms of civilizations, Nova went with Celts and he also was able to pull off the market. And Ghost going Teutons, and you have Frost going with Tatars and TheCode going with Teutons. So this is going to be an interesting matchup. A lot of focus on wood gathering and possibly gold. Yep. With 26 markets coming from Nova, this is already going to be an interesting game, to say the least. For population, it looks like Frost team is going to lead the charge in terms of hitting the pop limit. Obviously, with it being Frost and Code, their boom potential, or their boom ability, is one of the best in the game. I believe it's difficult for me to understand these. So is a bottom the total, or is a top the total? Or I don't. Okay, I could be wrong. It looks like Nova and Ghost are now taking the lead for the population. 513 versus 507. So right now, as far as economy goes, Frost and Nova are almost equal in terms of wood count. Wood choppers, though, Nova is focusing heavily on wood gathering with 161 wood choppers, 155 wood choppers. Same thing with Ghost, he is up to 96. And here come the very close walls. I am glad that people are starting to do this more and more. You have to wall as close to that wood line as possible. That way you can utilize all of that space, not just a little bit of it, all of it. From the opposite side of the map, Code is also doing the same thing, as well as Frost. But Frost's walls are a little bit more advanced in terms of how he places them. Ghost spot 600 stone. Oh, both Ghost and Nova they have a combined 1100 stone. Versus Code and Frost, who have a combined, hard to say. I think he's sold, or he placed castles. Possibly placed castles somewhere. Yep, he did. 3,000 stone combined. Okay, cool. Nova is up to 200 wood choppers. Frost is up to 184. Obviously, the focus is wood gathering. More walls coming in from Ghost, as well as Frost and Code, who are getting ready to lock down the middle with gates and walls. More military structures as well. Stables placed in the middle from TheCode. Siege workshops and castles placed in the middle from Nova. And he has his entire side secure, that is for sure. 12 castles total from Nova. From Ghost, 7 castles. From Frost, 12 castles. I would expect more with him being Tatars. And from Code, 8 castles in total. Time limit is now 12 minutes. The treaty is a 15-minute treaty. I expect to see some cutting, I would like to think, at somewhere along Nova's side. Nova normally will rush in these games, so. But we will see how it plays out. A lot of farms coming from Code. He is going to be slinging. He will have to be slinging Frost if they want to win this game. With this being the finals, you don't want to pull any punches. Put everything out there. A lot of farms coming from Ghost. Kind of questionable, since I believe he will be slinging himself. I don't see any reason for him to give any food to Nova. So Nova is taking up most of the wood line, which is expected. For the other side, it seems to be equally half and half. Army coming in from Nova already. We have 5 seconds left on the treaty, and it is done. Trebuchets and siege onagers coming. Nova is opening up the middle right now as we speak. Scanning around. I don't see any other military units. Flaming Camels coming in from Frost to respond. I'm certain that they have heard the cut. One onager coming from TheCode. That, YouTube, is a Giga Chad move. 100% a Giga Chad move. How do you follow it? Giga Chad. Okay, back on board. Nova is trebbing the bombard towers, spamming keeps, I believe it is. Yep, placing keeps around in the middle. Typical Nova strategy. As he advances, he likes to tower. And this is going to be very useful going up against Frost's Flaming Camels. When you look at the army comparisons, Nova has a huge amount of army there. And the Flaming Camels won't be able to last against those siege onagers. Nova is very good with it when it comes to microing. I say that as he misses a shot. The Teutonic Knights, they will tank Flaming Camels very well. Yep. Right here is where Nova is 100% focusing on. He's microing those onagers well. Heavy Scorpions as well, he's going to be able to counter the Flaming Camels. There's the Giga Chad onager. And it's down. Over here, it's getting real close. Code is starting to open this area up with one onager. I am sure he's going to start pumping out an army right here, considering that there is only paladins, like a few paladins in here from TheCode. So his population should be good to go to let loose in front of Nova's base. Nova prepping with barracks and more siege onagers. But still a lot of the action taking place here in the middle. When you compare both armies, Nova and Ghost far exceed, I guess you could say, Frost and Codes in the middle. Honestly, I would like to see Nova and Ghost take this win. However, Frost and Code are very capable of taking away the victory as well. So this is going to be a close game. But Nova's got to do better at protecting those heavy Scorpions. And they are falling to the trebuchets. That's going to be very problematic. He's got to get up there and destroy those trebs. If he can, then it might be winnable here. Code is starting to push Nova with paladins. Waiting to see if Ghost opens up another pathway. The scores of both teams are still very close, with only about 2,000 to 3,000 in difference. 45,000 coming from Team Frost and 41,000 coming from Team Nova. Forward castle coming from Code. He's still pushing with Paladins and Teutonic Knights. And Nova is fighting it back with Halberdiers. Trebs. And more siege. Okay. If Ghost cannot reach the trebuchets, then this whole middle towers will be for nothing. Basically a waste is what it will become. Browsing over to the KD. Nova is positive, 1,000 kills, 700 deaths. Ghost is negative by 200 to 300. Code positive by over 3,000. Frost is negative by 3,000. Or 300, 300. 300 on both, my apologies. As I've said before, I have not casted long and I am trying to get into the hang of it. Ghost spot 400 stone. Assuming he's going to wall more, build bombard towers somewhere. Frost sending in camels for a wood raid. I believe he killed some of his wood choppers there. I should have been paying attention to that. As far as the fight over here in front of Nova's base, he was able to push back the Paladins, but now he's contending with Paladins, Siege Onagers, and Bombard Cannons. He should be able to get that. He should be able to stop this as long as he can keep his siege alive. That is key. I said this earlier. Nova needs to get close enough to kill those trebuchets. Ghost starting to make an army here. I think he's going to try to advance with Teutonic Knights, Paladins, and Hand Cannoneers. Army comparisons in the middle. Much more strength for Nova's team. Over here, I will honestly give it to Code. Over here, we'll just... There's no opposition to Ghost Army other than the gates and walls. The score difference in between the team is still about the same, maybe around 5,000. It's grown a bit, but for economy, Nova stands at 115,000 wood, Ghost at 68,000 wood. Nova Frost 93,000 wood and Code 90,000 wood. The reason I'm always bringing up wood is because in certain games like these where we have two very strong, powerful teams with good civilizations, it typically ends up going to a wood game. What that means is basically the game will last at around 2 to 3 hours in real time, which is a long time for a single game. But whenever you have 4 very dominant players involved, it could be quite enjoyable. They've got to figure out a way to kill these trebuchets. They have 11 to go through, and they're just going to eat up all of these towers and the siege as well. And Ghost over here pressing, he needs to figure out a way to get through these gates. He has so many farms with 79,000 food right now. He can delete some of those and build a larger army. At least that's what I would do if I was in his position. So right now, Code is starting to advance. Nova's got to figure out a way to stop this. Ghost might have to step it up and take control of middle. Focus less on here, wall more. All right, so yeah, Ghost. If Ghost was to wall this off, focus more on wood gathering with some of his farmers and take up this, focus all of his army here, Nova could push this back. This is key right here. Nova has to have the ability to push this back, but he can't if he's also having to worry about here. Ghost definitely has to step it up. Because this right here is not looking good for Nova. The Halberdiers are not going to cut it. He needs to make maybe Woad Raiders, Scorpions, Siege Onagers, Paladins. He is Celts, he can make Paladins and at least snipe the Siege Onagers with those. But the Halberdiers is essentially a waste of wood, in my opinion. Back in middle. More hand cannoneers from Ghost would be ideal right here, especially with Teutonic Knights. Huh, I learned something right here. Sometimes it's okay to target Halberdiers with Paladins as long as it keeps your siege alive, which is more expensive to remake. Or to rebuild, requeue, retrain, however you want to call it. But the team score is growing for Frost 9 and TheCode. Now up to 8,000 in difference. Originally it was 2, then it went to 5, and now it's 8. So they are definitely getting the upper hand. Ghost needs to fight more though. I think that is the issue. Where's Ghost's army? 35 hand cannoneers, 28 Teutonic Knights that are stuck right here with the hand cannoneers as well, 19 bombard cannons that are on the move, and 15, 16 paladins here in the middle fighting the Tatar flaming camels. With Nova being able now to focus 100% on TheCode, he is pushing him back. He can win this battle right here, but the problem is that the flaming camels might prove to be too much for Ghost. They have 2 set of walls and then they're into the trade, but the castles here could also help prevent that. But there's nothing else. The hand cannoneers got to start shooting. They're gonna let him in the gates, yep. That was an error right there. First gate is down. All it's gonna take now is the flaming camels just to push on through to possibly the second gate right here if they spot it in time, and then straight into the trade. Nova has got to get more aggressive. He's got to get pushing now. If he doesn't get pushing now, then Frost is not going to respond and send Arby over here. He's got to take the pressure off of middle. But it might be too late. All these hand cannoneers are toast. Those trebuchets that were in the middle earlier, they're back. Tell you, Ghost has way too many farmers. He has too much on eco. He's got to switch right now to military. Code's army is overwhelming to Nova. I don't think he's going to be able to advance any further. The Teutonic Knights make it incredibly difficult to push on. Nova's Trebs should be over here killing Frost Trebs. And the siege that's being queued right here needs to be devoted to right here. Even if he sacrifices him, he just has to get in here right now and help. Right here, he can hold off this offense if he can, but he's got to get Something has to change right here. So basically you have two one-on-one situations. Ghost is combating Frost and Nova is pushing Code. So two offenses coming from both sides of the table in two different locations. Ghost buying stone. It's almost a stalemate though. Frostbot stone. Nova is losing a lot of wood though. You know how I said he was over 100,000? Now he's down to 43,000. He has the least amount of wood in the game. Ghost with 48,000 or 49,000, I'm sorry. Frost with 87,000 and Code with 57,000. He's got to get to chopping wood. And there's two large groups over here of wood. In terms of military comparison in the middle, Ghost has a lot. He just needs to get into the fight. And it's just Frost fighting him right now in here. Looks like Nova is pushing Code. That is good, very good. Can you keep it up though is a question. Forward build military over here, or military buildings possibly. Wall off right here. There's so many things he could be doing right now to benefit his fight and make it a 1v1 and keep it a 1v1. But I see Frost sending flaming cannibals over here. That's gonna pose a problem. Here come the wood chop, the flaming camels from behind into Nova. And he has his Qs gathering right there. That's not good for Nova. Nova is going to lose his army. So I think this effort right here just got put to a halt. Code raiding the wood choppers of Nova. That's not good. He's down to 30,000 wood. So he cannot, Nova cannot play the same way that he did whenever him and Ghost played against Ross and Assassin. That is two different types of games. I don't know, maybe Saracens would have been a better pick for Nova. I believe he is the strongest Saracens player from the community that we have. But Celts might have not been the proper decision to make, especially since the wood will run out. Frost going into the barracks of Nova with the flaming camels. No, he's bypassing him, going straight to the gate maybe. Or just chilling. In the middle, Ghost is doing really well. He's holding Frost. With the assistance of Nova, it looks like, but nonetheless, he still is holding him. Putting in more walls and gates. I'm surprised no one on Ghost side of the map, neither him nor Nova are chopping this wood. This is very important right here to gather. And they have to put a stop to this as well. Nova bought wood. He should not be buying wood nor stone. Ghost has 68,000 gold, 75,000 food. Switching over to the kill-death ratio. Nova is barely even. Ghost is tremendously negative. Frost is in the negative, and TheCode is positive by over 1,000. No, almost 1,000. Almost 1,000. My apologies. Yeah, the Paladins and Teutonic Knights are just overwhelming to play against. A lot of walls from Ghost, which is very helpful to play against Tatars. But he's not capitalizing on it, though. They needed to be taking this wood. Nova is, which is a plus, which I'm glad he saw that. A lot of open gaps in here with these unbuilt gates in front of Nova's base. The score between both teams has diminished now, which is good. It is now 3,000 in between. But Nova's still making halberdiers. That's not good. That is not good. Trebs from Frost with a large group of flaming camels, 66 flaming camels right here, and a total of 9 trebuchets. He's going to be able to take out all these gates and walls, and he might be able to get through. Camels coming in from Frost in front of his base, as well as 5 trebuchets. He's going to open this up right here. He's going to keep going for a wood raid. Code placing bombard towers along the side, possibly, to help contribute to the raiding of the wood choppers. I don't believe building halberdiers is the answer, because they will lose to Teutonic Knights. Paladins and Scorpions, I believe. Paladins and Scorpions would counter this possibly. Just micro the Paladins into the siege, lure enemy army into the line of fire of the Scorpions. I think that would be highly beneficial. He wouldn't be wasting so much in wood if he would be able to do that. Over here on Team Frost, you see a lot of farms coming in from both players. 90 farms coming in from Frost. For Code, he is up to 84. Nova is up to 35 farms, and Ghost has dropped down to 69 farmers. So he's in it to win it. Just gotta figure out from where Frost raiding the front wood line of Ghost. He's gonna be able to take over all of this wood. Flaming camels into the siege in the middle of the map on Nova, and the tear down portion of that walls as well. Hand cannoneers from Ghost to help combat the flaming camels. I'm not sure if it's gonna do so much. It could. You have Teutonic Knights here as well. So good eye from Ghost. I think he's finally got the middle under control. Nova is able to 1v1 against Code. All they have is two sections of walls now to go through to hit the trade. I think Nova can do it. If there's anyone that can beat Code and Frost, it's in the finals. It's definitely Ghost and Nova. Frost coming in with flaming camels. Nova needs to be able to stop this and hold back Code's Paladins as well and Teutonic Knights. He needs to open them up. Don't let him help him. Trebs. Yeah, if Ghost can stop this, if Ghost can advance and keep it a one-on-one between him and Frost, Nova can pull this off. He really can. Nova will be able to pull this off. Oh my god. Trebs over here from Frost. He's gonna try to stop this. But there's already opening. There's already an opening. Nova needs to act on it. 2 openings right now. Nova, you gotta go. Send your paladins in. More flaming camels coming in. I believe Ghost is sending his hand cannoneers to help. This is where the fight is made, right here. Or the outcome is going to be decided right here. If Team Nova can push this through, they win. If they get pushed back, I feel like they're going to lose. Ghost has control of the middle now with a small army, and he's advancing on his side of the base against Frost. But the main fight is right here in Code's base. They need to win this. Ghost is now down to 4,000 wood. They have got to win this here. If they have any ounce of victory in them, they got to get it right here. It's open, but they're not acting on it. The offensive army is just not as big. Nova and Ghost have a small army here. Too late from Nova. It is too late. They had it. And the wood count is shrinking considerably for Ghost. If this went to a late game, Team Ghost and Nova would definitely lose this right now. That is bad. Those are bad numbers. 24,000 wood for Nova and 4,000 wood for Ghost. That is very bad when you compare that to the wood count of the other guys. Frost is at 83,000 and Code at 40,000. That is a big gap. Nova is still having to contend with flaming camels from Frost and paladins from Code. A large army of paladins from Code. 88 paladins. There's no winning this right now. From right here in this area, there's absolutely no winning this. If they can't keep the army up, then it's a pointless fight. And there's no advancement over here from Ghost as well. He is fighting, he's having to contend with 2 groups of camels and hand cannoneers. You can tell Ghost wants to win it. Nova's gotta eliminate the siege. It might be over. Over 100 paladins from the Code. Ghost has to get his army in the fight though. He's got a lot of idols right here. Nova is going to need the help. Frost has control of this wood line. Not like they need it considering the wood amount. Nova down to 12,000, Ghost down to 3,400. And this wood army just being deleted by Frost, Trebs. More walls being queued. Trebs have now went down on Frost's side. Looks like the only fighting happening is right over here in front of Frost's base. Or in front of TheCode's base. My apologies. Smart for Nova to target the Flaming Camel group with the Siege Onagers. Very smart. Frost trying to lure Nova's army. On the other side of the map, Ghost is sending Teutonic Knights to hopefully take down a gate of Frost. We'll see if this takes any effect or has any effect. Nova is starting to mass a large army. Combination of Paladins and Siege Onagers and etc. here. With Ghost coming with Paladins and Hand Cannoneers. I don't think this is enough though. Nova and Ghost's eco is just not going to cut it, unfortunately. Yeah, I feel like this is going to be the last push of the game. Ghost, you gotta get into the fight, my guy. Frost with the, Code with the Onagers, Siege Onagers, and Paladins still. Let's see where this guy goes. And it's over. Nova resigned, GG. They had a chance to win, but it was just only Nova pushing. He needed Ghost to contribute as well in that fight. It would have been a GG. So, thank you guys for tuning in. This is the finals of the 2v2 DM Michi tournament. Love you guys.